Hi friends, it's Renee with Harvest Hill Cottage. We're going to work on some thrift flips and upcycled projects. We're going to use some batch painting to get this done. Let's jump right in. What is batch painting? I'm glad you asked. Batch painting is when you paint several projects with one color in order to save time. The color I chose for my first handful of projects is Limestone by Fusion Mineral Paint. I have here a thrifted wall shelf, vintage, very cool, some corbels and candlesticks. Now, I went ahead and added some fresco powder, it's a texturizing powder, to my paint because I wanted to thicken that limestone paint up nice and thick so that my pieces would look old and worn, as if there were several coats of paint, that had built up over the years. So I'm just dabbing and swirling that paint on. That's the technique here if you want to kind of go for that old, thick, painted look. Now, the corbels and candlesticks came out of my stash from a few years ago. They were created and made, handmade by Zeb Ray of Jami Vintage, and I had painted them a dark color a while ago and just never got around to doing the next step, which was to put on that creamy white. So I'm taking care of that now. Um, and just same technique here on this wall shelf. I like having that dark base underneath because then when I sand back to distress, you've got the darker showing, kind of peeking through um, on those edges where you sand back. So I love that look. I love the shabby chic, vintage, um, kind of French country style. So um, yeah, just once they were painted and dried up a bit, I went ahead and sanded back. And yeah, these projects were completed within just a couple of hours. I think they turned out pretty great. There's that wall shelf, so sweet. And corbels turned out pretty great, and so did the candlesticks. So let me know if you have a favorite of the limestone projects created here. Now moving on to our next color in our batch painting process here. I have this tote. I'm going to use Lichen green, also from Fusion. It's just a really beautiful mid-tone earthy green. I've got this wood tote that I thrifted, and then back behind that you can see that is a wood, actually it's an old vintage wood shelf that I had thrifted, picked up at an estate sale actually. And I'm just going to paint those up both with the lichen green, and we've got a couple other items I'm gonna add to the green process here. So I've got a couple of kind of boxy signs I had picked up from, I believe, Dollar General. They were on a clearance shelf for like 50 cents or a dollar or something. And so I just went ahead and added them to the mix here and painted them with this lichen green as well. I left the frames as they were. They were already painted um, sort of a stone gray color. So we're going to use the brand new Iron Orchids Designs Fairy Merry Christmas transfers on these little signs. And this is a limited release item. So if you're watching this, you know, down the road, they may be sold out, but you can check our website, harvesthillcottage.com. As of now, we do have some left. We're going to marry that with the toadstool molds, because what goes better with fairies than mushrooms, right? So I'm going to cast some sweet little toadstools using this mold from Iron Orchid, also available on our website, harvesthillcottage.com. I'm just putting some cornstarch inside the molds to help with the release of the air dry clay that I will be using in this project. So I like to kind of mix it up. Sometimes I use resin in my molds, sometimes I use the clay. This is air dry clay, also from Iron Orchids Designs. Works perfectly well in the molds. Very moldable, soft clay, just, press it down into your molds and it makes a wonderful impression in the molds. Just press it in really well. And then there is a micro rim on the edge of kind of outer edge of all of these designs, and it makes it really nice and easy for getting the excess off. And you can just use your fingers if you like, but I do like to use a credit card or gift card to take that off. Um, and so once I get that all filled up, I go ahead and pop it in the freezer for about 10 minutes, and then you're ready to release your designs from the mold and just roll it back, and your design should gently release right out of your mold. Then they're ready to paint. You can opt to let them dry first. I prefer to paint them when they're not dry yet, as I feel that it slows down the drying process, putting that paint on, and it can reduce some of the shrinking and cracking that can happen with the air dry clay. So I just had some fun painting up these toadstools. I pulled out some of my other colors and just had a ball. I will list all of the colors below in the description box in case you're interested in which colors I used on the toadstools. I did add some water just to create a little bit more of a muted wash on some of these. And I think you'll find if you have not used Iron Orchid's molds before, the details are highly intricate, just so well done that painting them up is just a dream. So definitely give them a try if you haven't tried them yet. But they did turn out so sweet. I just love them and I can't wait to do more. So, so fun. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and play with some of those fairies from the transfer pack. They went on very easily, very quickly. Um, and I'm loving these fairies because it is currently fall. When I am creating this video, it is early October, but Christmas is coming. So I love that these fairies they work for fall, but they also work for Christmas. They will work for spring. These fairies are completely um, adaptable for all seasons. So this artwork here with the toadstools, I just glued them right on over the fairies. Um, this is definitely current now for fall, but could also run right into Christmas. In fact, if you just add some holly berries, perfect for Christmas. Look at that. Went ahead and just glued some moss down into the bottom of the little box sign, and it is good to go. So sweet. I am loving these. Let me know what you guys think. I am definitely going to be creating more of these. I'm just sitting here thinking, what else can I put fairies and toadstools on? So I'm going to switch gears back to this tote that we had painted up with our lichen green. And I'm going to pop one of those fairy transfers on the end, one of the sides of the tote. Because again, I can use this right now for fall. I'm going to put some fall florals in the tote. But come Christmas time, we can swap out the fall florals for some Christmas greenery, and I think it works great. Yep, I am loving this. So on the other end, I'm going to glue on one of the larger toadstools that I created. So now I'm just going to tuck in some of the fall florals, and we have this sweet little decorative piece, perfect for fall, woodland theme. And then again, I'll pull out the fall and put in some greenery at Christmas time. I could definitely see that woodland enchanted woodland Christmas theme here. Just add some holly, add some greenery, some little woodland creatures, elves. Perfect. Very versatile pieces. So now for the final piece that with the lichen green with our batch painting, I painted up that shelf, if you remember, with lichen, and we're going to use some mixed media to create a sign using the sunflowers, some sunflowers from the Painterly uh, Florals pack, transfer pack from Iron Orchids. I do love the way sunflowers and pumpkins go so well together in the fall. I'm using the Jami Ray Vintage stencils, lettering stencils. Love Jami Ray stencils. They are thick and reusable and almost foolproof. I love them. And then finally, I added some of the two of the pumpkins from the new Hello Pumpkin limited release mold from Iron Orchid. I do have a few left on our website, so go ahead and grab those now before they are gone. Now you can see our sign there that we just finished, looking so cute. The third color in our batch painting is the color Oakham. It's a deep bronzy brown from Fusion Mineral Paint that we glazed with a bronze glaze, a custom glaze. I do show exactly how I make these pieces in a former video, which I will post below, so that you can see exactly how we created these Oakham painted pieces using Fusion Mineral Paint and the new transfer pack from Iron Orchid Designs, Holly Glen. Thank you so much for watching and for subscribing to our account. It does help us to move forward with more content. We appreciate you and we're so grateful for you. God bless.